Last time, we ended super abruptly because of the storm of sexual harassment.
That's what she said.
We learned 3 things. Number 1, Boss is a super perv. Number 2, Iris is alive and that body disappeared, if it was really ever there. And number 3...
we seem to have learned that what you do in the Somnium changes reality.
Our first path split was in a Somnium. In a Somnium. In a Somnium. And events have always been a little bit different.
Each time, based on what happened in the Somnium.
Now it seems like we're playing an Uchikoshi game, all right. That may not be the case. That reality is changing based on the Somniums. I mean, like Pewter said, we don't really understand how any of this works, and apparently the way it works is a bit closer to Blick Winkle than we thought. I'm not going to explain Blick Winkle, but it was a concept from Ever 17 where you thought the entire game and the entire plot was one thing, but actually it was this wild, out there, batshit crazy stuff involving the concept Blick Winkle. So now we've found Blick Winkle.
Speaking of Blick Winkle, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
Actually, that really fits in context of Ever 17. I'm the Opinionator!
And I'm We Squared.
Does that mean that we actually made Iris the killer? And that we made Ota unsuspicious? That we made Mizuki into Date's daughter?
I hadn't even considered that.
Huh. Of course, it's also possible that there was no body and it was all in Date's mind. It's possible that Boss is orchestrating something. Remember what we saw up here, after all. But who the heck knows?
Back to what's really important. Boss hitting on Date.
I think we've had enough sexual harassment for 1 episode, or 2, or 3, but Date was about to talk about the idea that he saved Iris in the Somnium, and so now she's alive.
Right.
That means it's totally time for Date to start hitting on himself.
I agree. Oh, I can't talk to myself or say, hey there, handsome.
I kind of think that we're at a point where we need to start dealing with really important things. We already ran through all those, and it'd just be a waste of time. You know, like each successive
Oh, I see.
time we're in this, it just goes to the next set of Date looking at himself gags, and now we're done with him. Remember the last one was like, I don't want to talk to myself. I don't want to seem crazy.
Okay.
Oh, and thinking about it like that, the idea that what we're seeing in Somnium changes reality. The game did start in Date's Somnium.
That's true.
Date saw Iris's body for no reason in Mizuki's Somnium. Did that even create that situation?
Like the prophetic dream causing it to come to pass, something like that?
Yeah, Iris says, one day soon, I'm going to die. Then, in the Somnium, Date sees
Iris dying, and because you bring a little bit of yourself into the Somnium.
Oh, I have no idea about this but then the next thing that happens is Iris dies in the way that was seen in the Somnium. I guess that would make Date the killer.
It always comes back to the main character. Let's talk about prophetic dreams.
I mean, we were.
Stranger things have been known to happen.
I mean, you are sitting right next to my disembodied cybernetic eyeball.
2 days ago, Date found Iris's frozen corpse in Mizuki's Somnium. It must have been a prophecy.
Boss.
It seems like it was the opposite of a prophecy. Instead of seeing something that is about to happen, you see something so it happens.
What would that even be? A self-fulfilling prophecy?
No, maybe...
What's the opposite of a prophecy?
An antiphacy.
A conphacy?
A plusphacy? Adphacy? I kind of like plusphacy. Plusphacy it is!
There's a lot of stuff in this world that can't be explained by science.
Sorry, Pewter.
Boss's knack for change is one of her good qualities. Not having beliefs is what she believes in.
Uh-huh.
That's how she established herself as a major player in the police department. Because she believed what she wanted to.
That doesn't really make her sound all that good.
Can a dream change reality?
Date and Aiba saved Iris and Somnium. And that changed the history of the real world? Well, I guess it's not impossible.
That isn't what you said yesterday.
That was then, this is now. A woman's mind changes with the phases of the moon, you know?
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, I believe in Date. I trust him more than anyone else in Abyss.
Of course, that's why she's trying to manipulate us.
That's really what it seems like.
What are we gonna do about So? Let him go, I guess.
Congressman Soejima is suspicious in more ways than one. Exhibit A. 3 days ago, So called Shoko Nadami's phone. We still don't know exactly why. He only told us it was meant to be private. Exhibit B. So Sejima was at Okiura Fishery Warehouse last night.
But if we saved Iris in the Somnium and she's not dead, we can't charge him with her death. Because he didn't kill her.
Well, right.
But he didn't inform us of this. There must be something he doesn't want us knowing. Exhibit C.
I'm still wondering how much of this is Boss making Date think this. She sure jumped to it awfully fast to kind of believing him, right?
Pretty accepting, more than you would think.
So was in Iris's Somnium.
Well, he was, but that's not what the line says or what the specifics here are. Unless that was on purpose.
Oh.
Anyway, I think rather than Boss accepting what Date is saying, she is encouraging Date, but...
Dreams are constructed from memories. Yet the good congressman denies he ever knew Iris.
Where's So now?
Elsewhere?
I sent him home yesterday.
You released him?
What was I supposed to do? We can't hold him without solid proof. What we saw with Iris hasn't happened yet.
In any case, we have to speak with him again.
God, is that what this route's going to be? Constantly saving Iris and Somniums? So many people just keep winding up conspiring to kill her?
Well, maybe that's because Iris is willing herself to die because she saw it in a dream or some such. That's why it would keep happening, see?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why she had that to say. What happened in Ota's Somnium? We saved Iris. Or rather, Ota saved Iris and was the hero. And how'd that turn out? Ota was the hero. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that had also happened before we went into the Somnium. Ah, I see.
When doesn't matter if the reality changing is true.
You're right.
So that would mean that we made Ota the hero.
I feel dirty. So let's talk about Renju, because we still need to hunt him down.
Mizuki went to Bloom Park 3 nights ago. She was prompted by a Nile message from Renju.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious. Please come to Bloom Park's merry-go-round right away.
There are 3 possibilities. 1. Renju killed Shoko, or was an accessory to the murder.
Right.
2. Renju was threatened or blackmailed into luring Mizuki to the scene.
Right.
3. The culprit used Renju's phone to send the Nile message.
Right.
In any case, the motive is still
We
unknown.
still gotta address that.
Right.
We need to talk to Renju.
Right.
Renju, where did you go?
You're copying me again.
Right? What can you tell me about Okiura Fishery that we don't already know?
I have done some research.
That we don't already know? Nothing.
As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju.
Right.
Oi!
The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
Go on.
I would suggest searching the warehouse again. You may be able to discover why Iris was resurrected.
Why do you say it that way?
I'm not quite sure I follow your reasoning there.
Then again, I talked about the Blick-Winkle moment, but that doesn't mean that it's not all some type of weird mind manipulation play.
Yeah, a dream-changing reality.
It is absurd. Not possible.
Well, of course, the robot says that.
Dreams are figments of the imagination. An incident which took place entirely in your mind cannot have any bearing on the real world. That is preposterous.
It is.
Consider it. If you were to find money in your dream, does your bank account balance go up in reality?
Can confirm, does not.
If you were to be attacked by aliens in your dream, does a swarm of UFOs invade Earth?
But at the warehouse,
You must have been hallucinating. Within Mizuki's Somnium, you saw Iris's frozen corpse. It is affecting your mental state. Last night, you were so fazed by it that you couldn't speak.
Perhaps Date's ego, his egg yolk of goopiness, had that image of Iris and brought it with him.
That would make sense.
I really want to eat some eggs now.
If it bothers you to this degree, why not go talk to Iris?
Where is Iris now?
Her cell phone is on. I can trace her via GPS. She is currently somewhere in the Lemniscate building.
Makes sense.
Speaking of Lemniscate,
Where's Renju?
You asked Momma at Marble for information regarding Renju Okiura, correct? It is possible she may have something for you by now.
I asked Momma for information too. But I had to promise him a meeting with Iris. Momma can wait for now.
We can talk to Iris's mom as well. She was Renju's classmate, right? Iba told me about her.
I'm still suspicious of her, too.
Oh boy, it's time for our favorite part, where someone else summarizes.
So if Date says summary to Iba, is Boss going to provide the summary?
The carpet will roll back and a tile on the floor will pop up and Pewter will pop up and do the summary.
Fantastic! Let's see it!
there are 4 people I should talk to.
Oh, man!
So Sejima, Iris and Hitomi Sagan, and Momma.
Billy, you lied! You got my hopes up!
Suffer!
And I need to check the warehouse one more time.
We have many avenues of investigation.
Well, I know what we're doing in this episode.
Let's get moving.
So Sejima is a key person of interest in this case.
Gee, I thought we'd go to the Soejima residence first because it was likely to be the least interesting, so we'd get it out of the way. But then it turns out we get this driving scene.
Right? I figured we'd show up and he'd be like, go away.
Yeah.
Earlier, the boss cited 3 points of suspicion against him, and I agree with her assessment.
I'm not commenting
I
on
checked
that.
the call logs of So's phones.
I'll just start screaming and ranting and raving again, and then everything I know is left, right, down, up.
A, B, select, start.
Congressman Soejima has 1 phone under his name, and a burner phone rented under a fake name.
Did you find anything interesting?
Unfortunately, no.
Really?
But I do have something. I looked into So's secretary's phone. 1 call in particular stood out to me.
Huh?
It was 1 week ago, from Fuchu Prison.
Ho ho!
The caller identified themselves as inmate number 89.
Number 89?
Yes,
He knows who killed Shoko Nadami.
this is most likely the same person who called HQ.
I know who killed Shokunadami.
Oh, Dashboard, how have you been? It's nice to be speaking with you regularly again. The dash.
When you crash, the first thing you hit is the dash.
Then your life is over in a flash.
And if you take a whole bunch of potatoes and put them in a bowl, assuming they've been boiled first, and then you can make a...
Go on. Ma.
I'm not gonna say it. I don't have the heart anymore. It's all gone. So took it from me.
Interesting.
The glove box.
This box is where you keep your doves.
No, that's
It's not a dove box.
Sounds delicious.
The rearview mirror.
Date, this reminds me of Egyptian mythology.
I don't want to hear a darn thing about Egyptian mythology.
Hathor, the mother of Ra. The mirror was one of her sacred symbols.
Wasn't she a cow or something?
Bah! Don't think I'm gonna bite at any old bait you dangle in front of me.
So who is number 89?
From what I can determine, he is an assassin.
Something like that.
He accepts jobs from the criminal underworld for substantial rewards. His code name is Falco.
Falco?
Wow, they're really giving us a lot out of the gate.
Right?
Correct.
Imagine if we'd done this one first.
Uh-huh. I bet.
What's number 89's name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
He is not registered in any databases.
I really wouldn't be surprised if his name is Kaname Date.
Hard to say, for sure, because that jail doesn't keep any inmates' actual names.
Oh, come on.
At least not no place that can be accessed easily.
Do you really believe that?
He could be a foreigner or recent immigrant, but it would be impossible to determine from where. However, I did not detect any accent in his speech. I believe we can conclude that he grew up in Japan.
What's he in jail for? Assassinating?
What did you say? Assassinating me?
I wasn't sure how to properly conjugate it.
Murder. He is serving a life sentence for multiple counts. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
6 years
Now,
ago?
as for this, the relationship between So and 89. It's the first we've heard of it, but it wouldn't be surprising at all, because A, every character is connected to every other character, and B,
He works for the Kumakuras, who have a direct connection to So.
basically that.
Unknown. You would have to ask Mr. Sejima for that information.
Why can't he tell us?
Number 89 said he knew who killed Shoko.
He did, but that may be a lie.
Does he have any connections to the Cyclops serial killings?
Unknown.
Okay.
In all honesty, I have no idea.
That makes sense. I don't think she's lying, so since Boss and Pewter don't want, or Boss rather, doesn't want Date to know that stuff, she just never told Iba.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 89.
Should we visit Fuchu Prison?
No, we don't have time. Call up Boss. Tell her to request that number 89 be brought to Abyss.
Well then, okay.
Roger.
Well, I suppose that's what we'll be doing after we're done with every place that we've...
Can visit. Since you talked over the car transition scene.
I heard there was no body found at the cold storage warehouse. Isn't your investigation over?
My investigation's just begun, starting with everything around here.
Iba, look! A merman!
Give me cucumbers!
So is a wealthy politician. It is no surprise to me that he has a merman. Wait, a merman?
Oh, you finally noticed?
Oh, hey everybody! I'm a merman.
Nice to meet you, bro. Have fun down there, yo.
I heard a strange voice just now. Could it be? So why were you at the warehouse?
I told you I will not answer that question.
And why not?
He wanted to find out the Wi-Fi password. In all seriousness, if there was no Iris body, doesn't he have something to set up here?
You're right. I hadn't even thought about that.
We didn't find anything there. There's nothing to hide.
It appears that he will not respond.
Huh.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Okay, why did you call Shoko?
You are beginning to irritate me.
Oh, you haven't seen. Irritating.
What did you want to talk to her about? What is the private matter you mentioned? What is your relationship with her?
I'll answer your questions when you present a warrant.
This is about as productive as I thought it was going to be.
That's why we're here first.
about number 89.
Number 89? Who is that?
An inmate at Fuchu prison. He used to go by Falco. He was an assassin.
Odd, finding such a person in Japan. What about him?
About a week ago, he called your secretary.
I don't know anything about that. He was probably calling for a pardon or some such nonsense.
That's also extremely plausible. He was calling for that.
Right.
And, the secretary just brushes him off. There could be a connection, or there couldn't have been. I understand that I'm just saying it could be this or nothing. To kind of everything, really.
Well, it's important to keep an open mind.
My secretary probably decided it wasn't worth my attention.
I don't believe you. Tell me more about number 89.
If you need information, you can ask her. I can't help you.
Well, why don't you give me her number then? Is she hot? Well, let's talk about Iris then.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know that girl. I've never seen her before.
Date.
I knew he was lying. This proves it.
I am having difficulty determining his motive for lying. After all, Iris was not killed.
Well, there could be any number of reasons why he wouldn't want to admit that he associates with a young idol.
It could be like we thought in the other route, through the association with Lemniscate.
Maybe he's got a secret with her he doesn't want us knowing. What are you hiding, So?
Well, I am going to kill her. It just hasn't happened yet, you see, and,
Haven't you people got enough?
Something I thought of. I just want to go through every one of our suspects. That we have had in this game. Date.
Mm-hmm.
Boss.
Right.
Iris.
Uh-huh.
Renju.
Yep.
Ota.
Uh-huh.
So.
Right. I think I kind of see where you're going with this, but continue.
Hitomi.
Mm-hmm.
Falco.
Yep.
Essentially everyone but Mizuki and Momma. And Aiba. And not Pewter either. What do they all have in common?
They're all connected to Date.
Okay, I guess I should ask my question in a different way. Is it possible that the mind screwiness of this is that every character has been led to be suspicious in some way or another because we are being suspicious of them? What I'm saying is, if we have this sort of reality warping thing, is it actually that all of these people are suspicious because the player is naturally in this game going to find them suspicious, and this is actually kind of worked into the game?
Oh, that would be amazing!
If there's nothing suspicious about most of these people.
But because we, the player, are suspicious, they are then suspicious.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's a pretty Uchikoshi way to do it. That's 40% of the way to Blickwinkle.
That's just a fun name to say.
Yes, why do you think I keep saying Blickwinkle?
I'm very busy. Excuse me. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing to tell you.
Go the heck away, and if I ever see you again, I'm going to have you fired.
To be honest, Kaname Date, I don't like you.
We have gathered this, yes?
I don't ever want to see you again.
As I said.
So I suggest that you don't show your face here anymore. It's what's best for both of us. Understand?
Huh. So walked away sternly.
Who does this guy think he is?
An important congressman.
Date, your blood pressure is skyrocketing. Any higher could kill you. Relax, Date. We still have much to do.
I know.
You need more info on Ren?
No, I need some info on Ren. Something greater than 0.
Well, more is greater than 0.
I'm sorry to waste your time, but I don't have anything for you.
Okay, see you later. Thanks.
I see.
Why are you always brushing that fish?
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
I find it calming.
Why is that?
Well, I find it salmon. I'm so sorry.
Don't ask me.
I don't even know what you're apologizing for. If that was supposed to be a pun or a gag, it was a massive failure.
That's why I was apologizing. So what do you know about number 89?
Oh, Falco?
You know him?
I know him as a famous assassin in the underworld.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just rumors, though. Nothing specific.
What kind of rumors?
He's good. 100% success rate. No evidence. He was a world-class killer.
Did you ever meet him?
Nope. I don't even know what he looks like.
Any other info?
I know he's connected to the Kumakuras somehow.
Them again.
That's about it.
Before I ask you about Renju, how's it going?
Well, I could use a little help down there, if you know what I mean.
No, the floors look clean enough from here.
I do not know what she means. Perhaps you should take her up on her offer.
Laying it on a little thick lately, aren't you, Game?
Are you okay, Game? This seems a little excessive.
Absolutely not.
So about Renju.
You know about Renju and the Kumakura gang, right?
2 roots worth.
Yeah, I know. I heard it from his own mouth right here.
Do they have anything to do with the talent scandal at Lemniscate?
Hello?
Hi.
Maybe now they do, since Renju is the president of Lemniscate.
I refuse to dignify that with a response.
But is that a response?
I don't have anything left. It's all empty.
But even before that, Renju and the Kumakuras go way back. All the way back to high school.
Excuse me?
Hey, Date. Have you ever seen a dead body?
Probably.
I don't like where this conversation is starting. I remember Renju saying that to me after he and I went through a bottle.
You're a policeman. I don't know what department, but I assume you aren't handing out traffic tickets.
You'd be correct.
So, how about it?
I didn't answer. I turned the question around on him.
What about you?
Me? Well, yeah.
Jesus.
Not just one.
Maybe there's a reason he's so cold and dispassionate.
Countless bodies. When I was in high school, I had a pretty crazy job.
Apparently you did!
Go on!
You know the Kumakura gang? I was hooked up to one of their phone fraud scams. I just had to go collect the money from drop points and give it to the Kumakuras. It was an easy job. Eventually, I became friends with the higher-ups. They started taking me with them on jobs.
Oh, good.
What jobs?
The target was always an elderly person from the country with no family. Elderly folk who owned a lot of land, you know? They live every day in loneliness and desperation. You just have to be nice to them. That's all it takes. Guys would get to know the old people and they would set up an adoption process. After that, you just have to get them really drunk. Throw them in the tub full of hot water. And they pass. Just like that. Heart attack, brain hemorrhage, or they simply go to sleep and drown.
I feel like this is extremely important information. No wonder he wanted to get his daughter away from him.
He's clearly been affected by it. No wonder he's having all this other problems, too.
God, poor guy.
The police almost never investigated. It always looked natural, like they died of old age. So the adopted gang members would inherit the land. Then we sell it and make massive profits. I watched a lot of people get killed like that. And I've seen journalists get killed for getting too close to the truth.
As I understand it, from the Yakuza content that I have experienced, this type of land sharking is a lot of what they do. That means it's probably not quite true.
Right.
But at least when it comes to fiction, that's kind of what I know.
Ugh.
So I... Why am I telling you all this?
You know, the thing about guilt, you don't feel guilt if you don't think you did something wrong.
Yeah!
Are you going to arrest me?
I took a sip from my glass. I didn't say anything for a while.
You didn't do it yourself, right?
No, I was always the lookout. But still... Date,
Tears fell to the counter, unending. We didn't say another word until the ice in the glass had melted to nothing.
That's one of the ways they get you. They, meaning essentially any sort of criminal organization.
They get you in, and then your guilt keeps you in.
Once you've gone a certain ways in, they get you involved, and then you won't go anywhere else because you'll just implicate yourself. This happens a lot in hyper-corrupt, hyper-illegitimate government regimes. They try to get people in the army and in various levels of the bureaucracy in on the atrocities so that everyone will stick together. Still, after all that, I feel a lot worse for the guy, you know? I'm not going to say that he's a victim. He's not. He may have been innocent and unsuspecting when he started.
Right.
But he didn't accidentally work his way up, and he's been associated with them for how long? I get that he's not doing anything criminal now, but he has those connections, and as we've heard, the Kumakuras will use him to entertain criminals, because they can trust Renju.
Well, also something to keep in mind is that Momma wasn't the one in charge back then.
Oh yeah, of course. It's not like Renju's a murderer, and I'm not even sure you could say legitimately that he's an accomplice to murder, but he's certainly not a victim with nothing to do with it at all.
Got anything else? If not, I'm outsies.
I don't have anything else for you. Sorry, I'm not much help.
No, don't worry about it.
Well, we kind of learned a lot this time. Not really from Momma, but...
I don't know how much we could discount the proximity.
Can you come back again tonight? There's a regular here who is good friends with Ren. They should be here tonight. If you ask him, he might have some information for you.
That sounds important.
Tonight?
Yes. I'll be waiting for you.
Very well, onward to our next destination! Oh, look who it is! What are you doing here, Count?
Mama's my favorite bartender! She's all purple, just like me!
Huh. I suppose you're right. So what are you drinking? You don't seem like a beer guy. Wine?
I never drink wine. I drink bourbon! Ha ha ha!
I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
Yeah, but you took care of Mizuki, it's fine!
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
No, I didn't do anything.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Oh, finally gonna talk about it, huh?
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes.
So who's this person on the right, then?
And who's on the right?
The man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but...
As expected. Made a big impression on Iris.
I met him about 6 years ago.
Oh, you don't say?
Have you been to the Kume Shrine in the Minato district?
Couple of times, yeah.
I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice.
Uh-huh.
Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach.
There's no way that you wouldn't know who this is, because the beginning of the game happened.
Right.
Even if we hadn't heard this story from Falco, we'd still know it was about him.
Right.
I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me. I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
How do you know about an underground clinic?
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once.
Of course it's Renju's friend.
Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together.
Well, whatever you do know about him, he was very, very glad to be spending time with you.
That's true.
And it clearly was reciprocal. After all, she ended up dating this guy. Until, that happened.
The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm.
Yes, clearly this is an individual who is unable to derive emotional fulfillment through normal means.
Yeah, no. That person would be Date.
Yeah.
What was it that Falco said, though? That she brought warmth back to his heart?
He had that cute side to him. And I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know. But we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed. I don't think we ever said I love you. But we both knew. We were getting closer and closer.
She still goes to see him from time to time.
Yeah, she visits him in jail.
I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him.
Now, I am very interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
Because we saw those memories.
Mm-hmm. Also, that is adorable.
Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park.
It's a tragedy what happened, and it just goes to show you the power of forgiveness, I suppose.
Yeah, because I don't think she blamed him for it. Getting shot in the arm, I mean.
Well, that's what I was getting to. He was becoming more of a normal person again, and being pulled back from the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, he sacrificed everything he had. It wasn't much, but it was all that he had. He didn't have anything else, and he gave it all for her. And for Iris, too.
Yeah.
Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture.
No, it's fine. I'm so glad you went over all that with us.
He wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate.
And you wore it on your heads?
It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head.
Good job, David!
Well, there it is, right on the picture!
Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads, too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it.
Poor guy.
It's nostalgic.
Yeah.
But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house.
And the thing is, you can't even say it's not his fault.
Kind of was.
It kind of was. Just like what we were saying about Renju before. It's not entirely that he was a victim. You can't really say that, but...
But he was trying. He was trying to do the right thing. And
well,
that counts for a lot.
He succeeded. He succeeded.
Yeah. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time. But my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime.
Even if we didn't know about all this from the other route, after talking to Momma about number 89, you then go, oh yeah?
I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
It's a shame that she apparently doesn't know for sure that it was for her.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true.
That was what she said before. It was even on this route.
I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki.
Makes sense.
Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That he was a criminal.
That I was dating a criminal.
Yeah.
He was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
None of that was a lie, though. There's quite a lot to people.
I did not expect to get so much out of the picture.
I'm glad we finally did find out. Falco may not remember any of this. That's terrible.
Yeah, because he had memory problems too, right?
It was everything he had. He even gave away the fruits of the life that he led and all the good things in it to protect her.
He told me he's sitting on the sofa. Not the one I'm investigating. I'm sitting on that sofa.
That is one long sofa. At least this one is actually a sofa and not a chair.
A refrigerator.
Date, a riddle.
Oh no, not again!
A man-eating alligator lives in a river. There are no bridges or boats.
Okay.
How do you cross?
You take the elephant and the giraffe out of the refrigerator and let them loose, and while the man-eating alligator is going after them, you jump over the river.
But if you could jump over the river, then why would you need to distract the alligator?
Because the alligator can also jump out of the river.
But it's a man-eating alligator, as has been established.
Are you saying the alligator is not going to go after the elephant or the giraffe?
I think that's the premise here.
Maybe the elephant eats the alligator. Speaking of which, the other day I actually did have grilled alligator for dinner.
Not the direction I thought this was going.
Well, let's see. You jump across?
Wrong. The solution is simple. You just swim across.
Okay.
But what about the man-eating alligator?
He's at a convention out of town.
Yeah, she's got us there.
He isn't in the river.
He told me, sweetie, your refrigerator is just a nexus for anti-jokes.
The types of anti-jokes that were around back in the Stone Age when I was in high school were these really long, rambling jokes that ended with the most banal and trite punchline, but the point was you're essentially trolling everyone that's listening to you by making them listen to your 15-minute long joke.
I see.
So there were lots of us who would start telling these stories, and they just go on forever and have this horrid punchline, and that means you won, if you got someone to listen.
It's Monday. Isn't it a school day?
Today's a holiday. I suppose there's never a day off for a detective. Oh, but you aren't a detective, right?
Technically, yes. But I still deal with crime.
I still detect things.
I see. Today is a holiday.
You forgot too, didn't you?
You have no excuse to forget, Aiba. Would you happen to know where Renju is?
You asked me that yesterday.
That's not what the line said. There's no point hiding it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
That was highly amusing.
Right from the hospital?
Yeah, we're surprised too!
I'm sorry.
Hold on. We had any other cases of disappearing victims recently?
Iris did vanish at 2 a.m. during her stream.
No, man. Iris's body vanished. Did something happen that prevented Renju from...
What, existing in this timeline?
Being injured in the car crash? Look, dude's just vanished, right?
That's true.
I don't really buy it either, but it's something to keep in mind.
That's a good point. Well, let's talk about Iris then.
I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy." I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me.
She's a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
What about your parents?
They died when I was 17.
Jeez.
I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away.
She's had a ridiculously hard life.
They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes. All alone. But Renju would help sometimes. It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park.
Ah, so that's what did it for her, huh?
It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such. She loved singing and dancing, even as a kid. Whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers. And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song...
Would she run up on stage and do it, too?
Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them.
Yep.
I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. "Mama, you're a good dancer." That's the kind of girl she was.
And at the end, instead of cheering for herself, she was cheering for her mom.
Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping.
Elevator music.
Even at convenience stores, when their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by.
Was it like the ice cream truck?
It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly.
Ugh. Kids are pretty resilient, though.
It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care.
Hence her connection with the mob doctor.
Oh, that makes sense.
After all, what else could Renju do for his friend?
Yeah.
I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. "Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance?" She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
Perhaps when she found out Falco wasn't coming back.
Yeah. What was the other time?
Yeah.
6 years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running, and she was sobbing.
"Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!"
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me.
It's pretty obvious, yeah.
More important than my own life.
Well, you're her parent. Does paint a kind of different picture than the other parents that we know.
That's true.
Well, go on then.
Summarize.
Date, We can't spend time reminiscing.
Don't you deny me the one joy I have in life!
We didn't really get anything out of this in terms of an investigation, but we got a lot of warmth, and this was a really good scene.
I agree.
We have to get moving.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, Date, you like older women, right? Just saying. Wouldn't that make sense? Hitomi has always been ridiculously nice to Date. Vice versa. He obviously is very attracted to her.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me.
The accidental daughter that he obtained is already friends with Hitomi's daughter.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm marrying your teacher, Mizuki.
Iris already looks at Date as a father figure.
With Aiba in my left eye socket and powered up, I walked into the cold storage warehouse. I could see my breath and not much else because there's mist everywhere. I looked around, shivering. Nothing seemed changed from last night, though.
That machine is used to cut ice.
Well, I'd rather it stay over there in the corner.
Do they store ice here?
Now for the moment of truth.
You first arrived here yesterday at 9 p.m.
Well, I mean, there isn't anything here.
At that time, lying on this workbench was...
Iris's dead body, covered with a white cloth.
But the second time...
The corpse was gone.
It was 11:25 p.m. But the body could not have simply vanished. Crime scene investigation was here before 11:25 p.m.
When did they arrive?
According to the report, 10:30 p.m. After we finished syncing with So.
It took them an hour and a half to get here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, by the way, I found a dead body over here.
Correct.
I could believe that there were shenanigans going on, except for the fact that the dead body came back to life, so...
Hold on now. Hold on.
What, are you gonna say it could have been someone else?
Boss may have delayed CSI coming out until the sync was over.
And she certainly was absolutely super mega ultra enthused to have that sync happen. She didn't have any problem with bringing So in.
Or hooking him up.
Boss pushed to have him hooked up. We know she has a vendetta against So, and we know there's an obscene amount of stuff that she knows that she's not telling anyone. So you might be right about that, because that is a ridiculous amount of time for it to take for anybody to get here.
We were surprised that they weren't already there and have already investigated by the time we brought So in.
And what the heck was that autopsy anyway?
Right?
Nobody was even here to do an autopsy.
And Aiba wasn't active to do any kind of weird scanny stuff.
Why did it take them so long?
Yeah, Aiba? You got some answers for me?
Unknown. The report does not specify. Perhaps a result of outside influence.
Hence the shenanigans I was talking about.
Outside influence?
In any case, there is nothing of note about the bench. Examining it will not reveal any further information.
Oh yeah? It's a workbench. There's nothing on it, though.
Yeah, there was no further information, Billy. Weren't you listening?
It was green, which meant I had to investigate it again. We searched the warehouse again, but we didn't find anything useful.
Nothing.
But finding nothing may, in fact, be something.
What do you mean?
I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Date, your temperature is dropping.
Yeah, it's freaking cold in here.
At this rate, they might find your body in here.
Something happened, and it's hard to discount any possibilities at this point. First time in Lemniscate, this route.
I am so aggro right now.
What? Are you saying that Date dealt the most damage to you, so you want to attack him?
Now, let's be fair. He could have used some sort of tank ability, like taunt or something like that, to manage the aggro. And, okay, I think this joke's run on long enough.
Who says that?
Why are you angry?
You backed out on your Shovel Forge promise.
I didn't make any promises.
You promised me a date, though.
I did go to your house.
Yeah, I understand you said that was social interaction. That counts as a date, right? But that didn't count as a date.
2 minutes before midnight? And you didn't even take me anywhere.
Yeah, because we only had 2 minutes.
We could have gone somewhere. Iturup, Kunashir, Shikotan, Habomai?
Absolutely not.
I don't know what any of those are.
We could have gone to her front porch. I have no idea what she was saying either.
Then you should have come earlier.
Well,
see, the thing about it is, I was intentionally trying to welch out on the date.
I was intentionally trying to welch out on the date so I could investigate your murder. Was that okay?
Wait, what?
Okay, what's gonna be in there? It's gonna be something.
Date, look! It's a Terraphila camellifolia. Look!
Oh, why didn't I guess that? Terraphila camellifolia.
Oh, of course, it's the most common. Let me just pull out my phone real quick. Oh, the katydid, also known as a leaf bug. I knew that.
Yay! Yay!
Yay!
Go, Terraphila camellifolia!
You sit on that leaf, and you look just like it!
Iba gets awfully excited about insects, but you all already knew that.
Maybe the taxi driver brings in his collection of strange bugs and sets them free into the wild here. Well, look! Why are there so many weird bugs on the indoor plants in a talent agency?
It was the let them loose in the wild here that had me confused. All right, time to talk to the receptionist. So, what's your type?
Well, I like guys that like New Guinea fruit bats and yellow spotted neck turtles.
Ooh, scandalous.
I cannot even picture that.
I gotta know your measurements.
I'm 5'4".
Not the measurements I was talking about.
That is clearly not what you meant.
Damon? Are you there? You haven't said anything the entire time I've been talking to the receptionist.
Huh? What?
I see you too wanted to know what her measurements were.
Sorry, I was thinking about some fine arts in a museum.
I bet you were.
Museum.
A museum. Can I have your contact information? Asking for a friend.
Why?
Well, because it may lead to something in the future.
Maybe we'll have another ending with her.
I don't know.
Date, we're on an investigation.
Love can bloom on the battlefield, Iba. I believe that.
Just let me have this.
Huh?
David, focus! I'm asking her for her contact information.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's enough. I'll come right out of your eye socket if you don't stop.
Self-destruct. Give us the self-destruct ending. Be like, what's your number, baby? And she'll be like, 41205. And then he'll say it, and then be like, I love you, and then his head will blow up. Pop like a grape. Because grapes pop. People pop grapes.
His color scheme is black and purple, so make of that what you will.
Billy, you don't eat the black grapes.
Oh, that explains so much. So, about that contact information.
I'm serious. I'm going to pop out.
That's not all that's gonna pop out.
Ugh.
I dare you, Iba! Oh my god. Iba flew out of my left eye and started dancing on the desk.
Oh my god, that is like so cute!
That's probably what she'd say, yes. The receptionist immediately fainted.
That was close enough.
Iris saw the whole thing and also fainted. And so, my story ended. The end.
Sweet, we got another ending!
But I couldn't let that happen, so I decided not to ask her for her information. Oh, my heart. I want to know where Renju is.
I want to, too. We've been looking for him. We've been getting so many calls, it's hard to keep up with.
I looked for him under the plant, under the desk, in the break room. I just couldn't find him anywhere. Now that you know the kind of man I am, Iris. Iris is looking at me, judging me.
Fact check true.
I saw your body.
Iris, promise you won't laugh, but I saw something at the cold storage warehouse last night.
Oh, jumping right to it, huh? I thought this was more perviness.
What?
Your dead body. I told you not to laugh.
But, come on, Date. I'm alive. I'm right here. Look, I can jump around. Woohoo!
Hop, hop, hop.
Stop, I'm serious.
Hop, hop, hop. Bunny goes hop. Hop, hop, hippie, hippie, happy, happy. Hoopy, hoopy, ho.
Who you calling a hoe?
In my dream, I saved you from being killed. And here you are. Which is why I was like that when I went to your house yesterday. Sorry, there's no point in telling you all this.
No, it's fine. Sorry for laughing.
Huh.
I just didn't know what was up with you.
Huh?
I believe you, Date. Maybe you were in a parallel world or something.
Another bizarre explanation.
Well, it's just as feasible as any other we've come up with. Why was your phone off yesterday?
I know you were mad about our date, but why was your phone off? I couldn't get a hold of you.
You gonna say anything about this 2 a.m. visitor?
One thing at a time, Damon. One thing at a time.
Did you have a 2 a.m. visitor?
About that 2 a.m. visitor that Damon keeps going on about.
Last night around 2 a.m., someone visited you. Who was it?
Oda recorded the stream, you know.
Yeah.
And you left the house as well.
We can show it to you unless that changed too, which would confirm a couple of things, wouldn't it?
I guess it would, yeah.
Where did you go?
You really want to know?
Yes.
And you'd do anything for the answer.
Yes.
All right then, Shovel Forge.
No.
Then go on a date with me.
I don't like Minecraft, as I've talked about in the past. That's fine. I don't care if somebody else likes Minecraft. Billy likes Minecraft.
I do, yeah.
I don't mean anything bad by it, but I don't. I would not be so resistant to playing Minecraft with someone if they were asking me to do so like this.
Also, if it's part of an investigation, come on.
Again, no.
But you owe me for yesterday.
I told you I couldn't get a hold of you.
Objection.
Overruled.
Even if you did get a hold of me, you didn't want to see me anyway, right? Until you fulfill your promise, I won't tell you anything.
She's so manipulative. Got the day off? I assume that's why you're loitering.
Off?
Yeah, from school.
Oh, yeah. It's a holiday.
Just in case I came here instead of going to Hitomi's house first.
So I decided to come to Lemniscate. We're going to do a recording for a show soon.
Think about this very carefully. Do you know where Renju is?
What about him?
I don't need to hide it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
A traffic accident? I'm worried.
Any idea where he could have gone?
I'm sorry, no.
Do you, perhaps, know So Sejima, the politician?
Seen him on TV?
I've seen him on TV.
Told ya.
Oh, but that's the easy answer.
Ever met him?
No.
No.
How's that then?
All right, what's next? No, what's Date going to say next, Mr. Smart Guy?
I'm doing Iris's lines, not Date's.
Fair point.
Not at all.
All right, what is it?
Nope, never.
No, not at all.
Ah! What are you, some sort of wizard? Summarize me, Captain!
So, what are we doing?
What do you mean?
Our date.
For our date, of course.
I was trying to get it out before she said it. I clearly did, though.
Do I need to hit the button to advance this? You clearly have the script already memorized in your soul.
Okay, what have I done? 4 in a row? 5 in a row?
Something like that, yes.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to keep it up forever, but I'm going to try to.
Okay. Oh.
This seems important.
I feel like we should go on a date.
Now, you know, this is possibly a root split. Gah! It doesn't say!
Let's go on a date, because that's the only way I'm going to get any information out of you.
Fine.
Yay!
Wait a minute.
Ha! Iba cut you off!
That doesn't count?
Yay!
Dang it!
Ha! Ha! I am seriously not messing around! I'm really giving these lines!
So you'll play Shovel Forge with me?
Oh, you didn't give me a chance!
It was the only way to break the curse!
I will not.
Oh, come on, you meanie!
So we'll go on a date
okay. Finally lost one.
Yes.
The momentum's gone now. You can never reclaim it.
Deal. And you have to honor our agreement this time.
I can't believe it.
Oh, but we can't go right away.
What exactly do you think I'm going to do, Iba, especially with you there the entire time?
I have a recording coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I should be done by 3, though.
Considering what the flowchart image for this part looked like, I kind of feel like we should stay here and wait.
Let's see, we will have to be back here by 3, and then assuming nothing horrible happens, we're supposed to meet the person that's a friend of Ren's at night.
Yeah.
Tessa, we're starting soon.
Got it! So, Date, meet me back here at 3? If you ditch me, I will be beyond furious. Anyway, bye for now. Peace!
Iris smiled and strolled over to the studio. Damon sighed and looked dejected.
Lemniscate seems like such a happy place, just overall. It just seems like I really understand the girl's people here.
Uh-huh. Sure you do, man.
There is no point remaining here. Let's get moving.
And then after this is to the so-called date, unless, she dies again on the way.
11 minutes, if she hasn't died yet, the odds are pretty good. I returned to a barbecue.
Okay, I don't see any root split on this barbecue.
It's because barbecue came up so often in this episode, that's why.
Huh?
Hitomi kept talking about barbecues. Got me hungry, thinking about barbecues.
That's a good excuse. You hold on to that.
I will, thanks.
Tightly. Embrace it. Caress it.
Get out of Lemniscate, Damon. I needed to talk to the boss. As I entered the room, the boss smiled, like she was waiting for me.
And here's what she's gonna say. I wanted to watch you count the 44 objects in this room and look at all of them while I flirt with you.
Now, Damon, if she says that, I will burn you as a witch.
Okay, that's fair, and I will not protest. I probably will deserve to be burned as a witch if she says that.
I took care of what you asked for.
Oh, thank God.
Number 89?
He's here. In the interrogation room.
You totally blew off Iris. You should have just not promised her. Now she's gonna be mad and die.
Yeah, and gonna say it probably die.
I'm on it.
You'll go without me this time. I have some errands to run.
No, you don't! You stay right here!
She really has to go meet Iris.
She wasn't here last time 89 was here either.
He probably doesn't really want to see her. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One of the higher-ups needs me.
I bet.
Yeah, chew her out for So.
I'll have Pewter go to the interrogation with you.
Understood.
You crushed Iris's poor maiden heart.
You don't get a right to talk about any maidenness. Yep.
Let's get started.
So do you suppose it's going to go the same way as last time?
I don't think so. Nothing else has gone the same way as last time, beyond re-establishing the same information as we got it on the other route. Man, such a sense of deja vu to be sitting across from number 89 again at the end of an episode.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what else would give us deja vu? Ending this episode, just like we did on episode 20.
Episode 20, eh? How'd we end episode 20?
Like this!